You've witnessed the pattern endlessly. The good man, predictable, ever available, inevitably dismissed into the cold shadow of her indifference. While he, the enigma, the challenge, the one cloaked in an aura of untamed masculine energy, effortlessly commands her deepest, most primal, instinctual fascination. You label him bad boy, perhaps asshole. But what if these are merely the profane names for a sacred biological truth? What if his dominion stems not from calculated game, but from an ancient hormonal current her very DNA is architected to recognize and obey? Society has sold you a comforting, neutered illusion that attraction is a polite negotiation of shared values, a sterile checklist of kindness. Seduction noir incinerates that fallacy. The truth is far more elemental, more devastatingly elegant, more beautifully ruthless. Beneath the fragile veneer of her conscious preferences, beneath the armor of her social conditioning, beats an ancient operating system, a primal, undeniable trigger. And the master key never unlocks this forbidden chamber is not found in your carefully constructed words, nor in your supplicating acts of service. It is the raw, unapologetic, vibrational frequency of masculine essence. An essence supercharged by the very biochemical fire that forges conquerors, awakens gods, and sculpts kings from mere men, testosterone. This is not an invitation to crude aggression, to the clumsy posturing of the uninitiated. This is your initiation into testosterone alchemy, the sacred art of cultivating, embodying, and projecting the resonant energetic signature of the dark masculine archetype. That potent, deliberately misunderstood force that compels a woman's nervous system to recognize in you not just a man, but a biological imperative, a fated return to source. The gnosis you are about to receive will re-architect your understanding of female desire from its very foundations. Few men possess the courage to even glimpse this truth. Those who embrace it cease to play the pathetic game of attraction. They become the very field upon which the game is won before it even begins. This isn't merely an insight. It is the unsheathing of a sovereign power you were born to wield, a power the world taught you to fear and forget. Why does the so-called bad boy, the man radiating this potent, often untamed masculine edge, so effortlessly bypass her meticulously constructed logical checklist, her social programming, her very conscious will? Because he does not speak to her mind. He speaks directly to her limbic citadel, the ancient reptilian core of her brain, where survival, replication, and the raw, unshielded currents of desire hold absolute dominion. This is where true decisions are forged, in fire and instinct, long before the neocortex can weave its pretty justifications. Testosterone initiate, when expressed with sovereign coherence, not as brute force, but as an undeniable energetic reality, broadcasts unambiguous, irresistible signals directly into this primal core. The sigil of genetic supremacy. Healthy, Potent testosterone is an incorruptible, honest biological signal of robust health, a formidable immune system, and superior genetic architecture. These are the primal currencies her deepest programming, honed over millennia, is built to recognize and crave for the continuation of life itself. It is a biological homing beacon for her desire. The imprint of sovereign capacity, the shadow of resource and protection. Even in utter stillness, this energy transmits the unspoken potential for decisive action, for the command of resources, for the unwavering protection of his domain. This is not the negotiated contract of the provider archetype as understood by the mundane. This is the palpable aura of a man who is a resource, who is a sanctuary of power by his very nature. She feels this capacity in your presence before a word is spoken. The resonance of dominance and archetypal hierarchy, the unspoken order. Testosterone is the biochemical fuel of ambition, of unshakable assertiveness, of the innate drive to ascend and define hierarchies. Women are not merely attuned to these signals. Their nervous systems are sympathetic resonators for them. They perceive status, the capacity to navigate and even architect the social landscape, not as a conscious calculation, but as a visceral pull towards a center of greater power and stability. This is not the dominance of the bully. It is the gravitational weight of a man who embodies an undeniable natural authority. He is a force. She feels compelled to orbit. The ecstasy of the unpredictable, the delicious peril of the edge. A sovereign testosterone current often manifests as a potent, non-negotiable individuality, a thrilling refusal to be easily predicted, tamed, or assimilated into mundane conformity. This unpredictability, this dark masculine edge, is not chaos, it is the signature of freedom. It shatters her boredom, ignites her senses, and plunges her into a state of heightened aliveness, a powerful cocktail of delicious intrigue and undeniable erotic tension. She does not choose to be magnetized by this. Her body, her ancient biological imperatives, her deepest archetypal memory makes the decision for her, often in defiant, glorious contradiction to her conscious type or societal scripting. This dark masculine frequency, when wielded by the seduction noir initiate, is not about cruelty or disrespect. It is the resonant hum of an unapologetic, self-possessed masculine core, a core that needs no external permission to exist, to desire, to lead, or to become the very atmosphere she craves to breathe. And here, initiate, we descend into the forbidden knowledge that separates the puppeteer from the puppet, the architect from the automaton. The great pervasive deception of modern dating advice, the hollow charade of game itself, is its pathetic attempt to simulate these primal effects. To teach you behavioral mimicry, linguistic contortions, a desperate dance of calculated artifice. But her ancient limbic core, the primal sentinel of her desire, possesses an incorruptible bullshit detector. It cannot be fooled by performance for long. It craves not the echo of power, but the authentic hormonal resonance, the undeniable frequency of a man truly aligned with his masculine source. The seduction noir twist, the revelation that shatters paradigms, is this: you cannot act your way into this echelon of attraction. You cannot perform this level of magnetic command. You must become it. The raw, often destructive allure of the archetypal bad boy is merely the unconscious, unrefined, and frequently chaotic eruption of this testosterone-driven, energetic current. He stumbles into its power, wielding it like a club, often leaving a trail of psychic collateral damage, both to others and to himself. The seduction noir initiate, however, does not stumble. He learns to consciously cultivate, refine, and channel this incandescent masculine current with sovereign intent, unwavering control, and profound ethical awareness. This is not about adopting yet another fleeting persona, another fragile mask. This is about a fundamental hormonal and energetic realignment, a sacred, often brutal alchemical process of shedding the suffocating layers of societal conditioning, the good boy programming, the fear-based domestications that have systematically suppressed your natural, potent masculine vitality. It is the profound understanding that your internal biochemical state, your very hormonal architecture, is a primary broadcasting station, transmitting silent, potent signals that she receives, decodes, and obeys on a cellular, pre-verbal level far deeper than conscious thought, far more persuasive than any crafted word. You are learning to speak the language her blood remembers. So, you seek the alchemy that transmutes mundane interaction into primal resonance? You wish to awaken the dormant currents of your masculine core, to wield the testosterone signature that commands her deepest biological attention? Understand this: the foundations are non-negotiable. Your physical vessel must be optimized. Relentless training, disciplined nutrition, sovereign sleep, these are the bedrock. No true fire burns in a dilapidated temple. But beyond the flesh, the seduction noir initiate forges the energetic and psychic architecture of this irresistible potency. These are not gentle suggestions. These are power moves. Engrave them into your being. 1. The right of purposeful confrontation. Embrace challenge, annihilate comfort zones. Your comfort zone is your coffin. Actively seek, embrace, and conquer purposeful challenges. Not reckless stupidity, but calculated risks that demand courage, laser focus, and decisive, unapologetic action. Whether in your mission, your physical training, or strategic social engagements, confront what the lesser man flinches. This direct confrontation with resistance, with the unknown, neurologically and hormonally forges masculine resilience and broadcasts a signal of potent adaptability. The outcome of the challenge is secondary to the alchemical transformation you undergo in the crucible of its engagement. 2. The vow of sovereign frame. Sever the chains of validation. Your reality, your decisions, your masculine truth, these are non-negotiable territories. From this moment on, you will practice holding your frame with the unyielding integrity of a king defending his realm. Her approval, her agreement, her validation, these are irrelevant to your core. The less you need her to affirm your world, the more your authentic, testosterone-fueled self-assurance will radiate like an undeniable law of nature, pulling her into your orbit. This is not about being argumentative. It is about being an unshakable psychic landmark. 3. The stillness of the apex predator. Mastery of contained kinetic energy. Eradicate nervous, placating, approval-seeking movements. Your body is not a beggar. Cultivate an absolute stillness that speaks of immense, contained kinetic energy, the lethal calm of an apex predator conserving power before the strike. This is not passive inaction. It is a pressure field, a silent declaration of dominance that her primal brain registers with immediate, often fearful respect. Every micro-adjustment, every breath must be an expression of this contained power. 4. The resonance of command, the voice as scepter. Your voice is an instrument of your hormonal state. Lower its pitch consciously. Speak with deliberation, resonance, and irrefutable certainty, as if your words are not mere opinions, but edicts that naturally sculpt the reality around you. Eliminate uptalk, hesitation, and the linguistic tics of the supplicant. Your voice becomes a scepter, an audible extension of your internal sovereign order. 5. The strategic void, the power of calculated absence and unreachability. You will not always be available. You will not always be responsive. Create deliberate, strategic voids in your presence. Allow her to experience the energetic impact of your absence. This is not a petty game of hard to get. It is a sophisticated understanding that scarcity amplifies perceived value, and that her imagination, left to grapple with your unexplained withdrawal, will often fill that void with an obsessive intrigue that testosterone-driven mystery naturally fuels. Make your presence a potent elixir, administered with precision, never an endlessly available tap. This is not a checklist for nice guys to get the girl. This is a transformative path of radical self-reclamation, an alchemical forging. It is demanding. It may be uncomfortable. It will require you to confront the weak, conditioned parts of yourself and burn them away. But as your internal state shifts, as your testosterone finds its sovereign, potent, and healthy expression, your external reality, and most certainly her visceral, undeniable response to you, will begin to transform in ways that will make logical explanations feel like children's tales. You are not learning tricks. You are becoming the primal trigger. This raw understanding of primal triggers, of testosterone alchemy as the fire beneath attraction, it is but a single, fiercely guarded key, a solitary whisper from the truly deep vaults of the Seduction Noir Cathedral. That sensation you feel now, that unsettling, exhilarating recognition of a vast unseen power operating just beneath the surface of all human connection, that is merely the first tremor. The true initiation has not yet begun. The initiation chamber. This is where these foundational currents are not just discussed, but alchemically magnified into an operational art of profound, reality-altering influence, where the dark masculine essence is meticulously forged, sovereignly wielded, and ethically anchored. The door to that chamber, it does not open for the merely curious. It reveals itself only to those whose hunger for genuine gnosis matches the unwavering courage to embody its truths. It is there for the few. Therefore, initiate, annihilate the lie of convincing her. Eradicate the pathetic artifice of gaming her. These are the crutches of the uninitiated, the desperate rituals of the powerless. Instead, dedicate your very being to forging the man whose hormonal resonance, whose energetic signature her primal brain cannot and will not deny. Cultivate that inner incandescent fire. Embody that unapologetic, sovereign masculine essence. Let your testosterone, the sacred alchemical current of your authentic manhood, be the silent, irrefutable aphrodisiac that rewrites her ancient script of desire. She craves not the manufactured charm of the nice guy, nor the hollow theatrics of the player. Her deepest, oldest self yearns for the unmistakable frequency of authentic, sovereign masculinity. Be that frequency. If this gnosis has ignited a fire within your soul, a recognition of the profound, often brutal game being played just beneath the surface of reality, like this transmission now. The echo of your acknowledgement resonates within the cathedral. Subscribe for the relentless unveiling of keys to your kingdom within. And comment below with unflinching honesty. What is the one ingrained pattern of nice guy behavior or gamey artifice you will incinerate today to begin your true testosterone alchemy? The path of the unconscious bad boy is a path of accidental power and inevitable self-destruction. The path of the seduction noir sovereign is one of deliberate forging, conscious mastery, and ultimately an irresistible, world-altering presence. The cathedral initiate always awaits those who dare to shed their illusions and claim their inherent power.